Hello, hello. This is Mark Christmas. How are you today? What a beautiful afternoon. What a beautiful afternoon. The sunshine. It may not be that warm where you are, but the sun is out in full shine, and the stars are actually aligned with the star we'll call the moon. There's been a full moon for those of you with the moon, a full moon the other day. And that full moon really they called it the wolf moon, the full wolf moon. And so what we do know about full moons is that they represent change, they represent beginnings, they represent an opportunity to do some things in a different way than maybe you had been willing or able to do before. And what we're going to do today is really start with understanding that the full moon is alive for 3 days before the actual rising of full moon. I think it was January 28th around 7 p.m. and then the full setting, which so we've got 3 days before and after. Hello, Lois. How you doing, Lois? Welcome. MB Third, welcome. Thank you for being here. And so what we know is that on today, it's still within that 3 day time of when the full moon rolls, and then we can still harness and tap into the energy of the moon around this, what we call this wheel burning ceremony. And so I want to welcome those who've joined us and those who will be joining us, and just say thank you, right? Thank you because you're here, because you recognize that there's something divine in terms of who you are and what you represent. And thank you, aloha and hello, aloha and hello. Yes, thank you for sharing this with me. Thank you for sharing with me as well. And so we recognize that that many times there's some things that become in the way of who we are, who we want to be, or who we desire to be, who we are divinely, who we are created to be, that thing. And then there's who we are and how we're existing right now in this earth, in this earthly existence form. And what we want to do is give you a tool today through this wheel burning ceremony to tap into who you are in this earthly existence form. Identify what is it that's in the way of who you are in this divine creation form, right? And it's called a wheel burning ceremony. It's really simple. It's been used across the ages. It's probably been called different things. I'm a Reiki master. We call it a Reiki wheel burning ceremony, but you don't have to have done Reiki to participate. And certainly if you have done Reiki, we'll just invite you to invite your Reiki guys to support you in the exercise. But it's simple. The only tools that you'll need is, you'll see I already have a bowl for the burning. So you're in your house. I'm going to ask that you not burn anything in your house. We'll do a ceremonial, and then you can do later on, go outside and do the piece that I'll do here, representative for all of us. So we have the bowl. You have a piece of paper. Right, simply a piece of paper, a blank piece of paper, something like this, right? A blank piece of paper, a pen or a pencil, right? Something for you to write with, some kind of utensil to write with, and a pair of scissors, right? Or some version of something to cut with. Some of you might have a good cut game with folding and creasing paper, so you can certainly do that as well. So we want to keep it simple. The only really thing that you need, the really most important tool of all, is an open heart and an open mind. Right? And we're going to invite you to get out of your monkey mind. And some of you may be like, monkey mind, what does he mean when he says monkey mind? Monkey mind is this mind that we go through our day-to-day existence with. It's the thing that where our ego drives us. It's the knowing, the already the knowing, the mind that's present that we can't turn off, that seems to be going all the time. We want to turn that monkey mind off for this particular exercise. And we want to turn on the divine mind, right? The divine mind, the divine consciousness, the all-knowing, the all-powerful, the great I am that is within each and every one of us. And so we're going to do an invitation at some point in the ceremony to invite the divine mind to be the place for the download and to release the monkey mind from that. Okay. Now, with that being said, if you're just joining, like I said, you just need a piece of paper, a pen, and a pair of scissors, right? And just so some of the pre-work, what we'll do if you've joined us, you'll take a piece of paper, and if you can draw freelance, that's great. If not, that's great as well. And you'll just draw a circle, let me see, on a piece of paper, something like this. Right. Don't worry about the writing in there. You just want to draw a circle, something so that you have room inside and you have room outside of the circle on the paper. Okay, so you should be able to see it. I'll put it in the other screen for you to be able to look at as well. You just draw a circle on a piece of paper. Okay, so we'll give time for you to do parts of these exercises. This is not a rush through. We'll probably take us here about 30 minutes to complete this particular ceremony. And we won't rush it. If we need more time, we'll take more time. Now, look, for those of you that are joining from the various places, some may be on Facebook, some may be on YouTube, some may be on Twitch. Wherever you are, you're welcome. This is the NIA Center. This is just another program of the NIA Center around supporting, engaging, educating, or empowering you around intention, around purpose. And so our intent today is to get crystal clear on what it is that we get to create and manifest on this particular thing we call Earth. What is it that we get to create and manifest on this particular thing here that we call Earth, right? And so as you think about that, as you think about what you're going to do today, is really about greetings to our Facebook, greetings to you as well. Thank you, thank you. It's really about getting in touch with this divine, right? And we want to understand what is it that's impeding us? What is in the way of being our true self, right? And so you get to be judgment free, right? And so you don't want to be judging and this means this, or this means that, or this makes me a good, or this makes me a bad. No, it doesn't make or mean anything, right? This is all about taking some time with the intention of having a divine download to understand, one, what's impeding me, what's in my way of being my true self, and then two, what is my true self, and not necessarily in that order. Okay, and as you do that, the circle will be used to fill in the divine download. So for those of you that started writing, stop. Don't write anything inside or outside of your circle as of yet. There'll be set times in this agenda, in this ceremony, to be able to do so. Right. So, but what we'll do is that we'll look to do a prayer to invite divine guidance and for that divine download on what is it that we would create in this world? What is it that is our true self, our true nature, our true being? What is it that would be manifested as my true self? And those are the things that would go inside the circle. Okay? Then on the outside of the circle, as we said, we're going back to the round part, if you just look with me, on the outside of the circle, you can see I even had up here is release, that word release. It'll be, what are the things that are impeding, that are getting in the way of my divine true self that's in the middle, right? And I'll walk you through step by step how we'll go through this exercise. And so once again, I just invite you to release your monkey mind. And I can just see my good friend Keisha Dean just laughing every time I say monkey mind. It tickles her for whatever reason. It just tickles her. But we want to get out of this. I already know the mind that's already going, that wants to tell us what to do, the ego, all that's present in the mind, the never ending, never ceasing thoughts. And we want to tap into what is it that the great I am, the divine, the supreme being, the universal intelligence. Some call it God, Jehovah, Allah. I mean, it doesn't really matter what you call it, but we know that there is something that is greater than you that I'll call divine, this divine being that has created all that is created and is the source of all that is, that will manifest and reveal if asked. All right. Now, that being said, I want to go ahead and get started with setting a prayer and with intention, right? We want to get started with setting a prayer with intention. And so everything that you do should have intention, Everything. I mean, you think about it, it's not too many places people go. Keisha Dean is laughing. He said, that's right. Ha ha. Thank you, Keisha, for joining in. There's not too many places that you go and you just get in your car, especially if you've never been there before, and just start driving. Most of us will put something in the Waze or the Google Maps or some kind of GPS so we know exactly where we're going and exactly how to get there, right? Now, in absence of doing that, particularly in a place that you've never been before, there's a chance that you may get there, but there's a high chance that you may get a whole lot of other places before you get to the destination that you wanted to get to. And so what we want to do is be intentional with this exercise. And I invite you to not just apply that to now, but to be intentional in life, right? And to bring attention to your intention, right? Intention. So from your heart, from this divine being that you are, not the outside being, but from the divine being, set an intention of what it is that you really want to come from this ceremony. If you want to really get some divine clarity on who am I at my core? What is my true self? What are the things that I'm here? I've been created on this planet to manifest, to be a part of, to bring together, to birth. You set the intention on and having that revelation, and also the intention on revealing what it is that might be impeding, that might be in the way, that might be obstructing, that might be a thing that separates me from this trueness of self, whether it's consciously or unconsciously. And if you hold that space as your intention for this ceremony, then we trust that will happen and that will be revealed. And so I'm going to invite you to say an invocation, and as I will say along, you can say your own. You don't have to say or repeat after me. But an invocation is simply an invitation to the divine, whatever it is that you choose to call the divine. And in that invitation and in that invocation, I invoke the spirit of oneness. I invite divine love. I invite divine intelligence, which is the universal intelligence, the all-knowing, to guide the ceremony, to guide my thoughts, to reveal to me the things that you would have revealed, such that I am aligned, divinely aligned, internally. From within, I invite the thing they call the Holy Spirit. I invite any saints that would love to participate and help guide, any ancestors that are there, that are present, any angels that want to help to be part of the process. I invite those that are connected to the divine in whatever way that they're connected, to connect to me, and that through me to you as you. And in this intention and in this invocation, in this prayer, I want to say thank you, because we're already knowing and already trusting that the things that will be revealed are to be revealed, and they come from a place of knowing not in my monkey mind, but knowing within my spirit, knowing within my heart, knowing within the source that is the source of all, that it is true. And I thank you for what you've already revealed and what you will reveal. And amen, and I say, so it is. So what we want to do is that if you haven't yet had the chance to take your blank piece of paper and then you've drawn on it a circle, and in that circle you should have nothing in it. All right, and so there should be two parts, as I mentioned, the interior part of the circle and the exterior part. So what we want to do is we want to say a prayer and a ceremony. And as this is happening, what I'll be doing on this end is I'll be sending Reiki to open up any blockages for divine revelation, for pureness of knowing, for connection to the divine intelligence of what it is that should be known, that should be revealed. And you're going to sit, and I invite you, if you have a second, just to bring your hands to an open palm position. Sit them face up in your lap. So if you're sitting in your palms, you're just facing up, and you're resting lightly on your thighs. And as they begin to just rest, and you begin to just bring yourself present with this moment, with this right now, with this truth that the gift of the right now is called a present, because in it is access to everything. And as we connect to this right now in the form of our breathing, in the form of our inhales and our exhales, just as they naturally exist, I invite you just to pay close attention to your inhale and to your exhale. As you notice, just notice your breath. Notice how it feels you. Notice how it feels when you share it back with the world around you. And as you breathe in this breath of life and it fills your lungs, notice how it just feels inside your body. And as you share it back. And as you just bring yourself to this moment, to this present moment, you notice the impermanence of your breath, meaning that it simply comes in whatever way it comes, and eventually it goes. And in that breathing of allowing it to come naturally and to go naturally, I invite you to do the same with your thoughts, right? Not to look to dictate, to control, but if there's things that seem to come to your mind at this point, allow them to come. Notice them, label them, and then simply release them. And as you bring yourself present, you may even notice your body temperature. You may notice that maybe your body temperature seems to be warming, or maybe you seem to be feeling some sensations, and that's fine. Just be in the awareness of the right now. Maybe you even hear the sound of your heart beating. You feel a pulsing somewhere, a tingling, something that maybe is hard to describe, but you know that you feel something in this moment. Just allow that to be. And in this presence, you're releasing the anything that happened before. You're releasing the need to know, the need to be right, the need to get it right. And you're just simply being present. And as you're present in this moment, you know that what's available to you is truth. What's available to you is understanding, is knowledge, is wisdom. And in a moment, we're going to just tap into this divine wisdom that's starting just to permeate your brain as you continue to heighten your awareness about the truth of who you are, the truth of what you can create, the truth of what you will create, the truth of your being, the truth of your purpose, the truth of your existence, the truth of who you are from the core, from the intention, from the inside. As we just take a few more moments in this space, just connecting with that oneness. Hey, Kimberly Smith, welcome. Thank you for joining us. We look to set a space, and we're saying we want to ask the question, simply ask the question of the divine. Simply ask the question of the divine. What is it that I am here to create? Who am I as a true divine being? What is it that you would have me to bring forth in life? What is it that you would have me to create? Who am I as my true self, my true divine being? What is it that you would have me to bring forward in life? And as you set that intention and you say that prayer, just take a moment and ask for divine download and response to that. And in a moment, I'll ring a bell. It'll sound something like this. And when you hear that, I'm going to invite you then to pick up your pen and your paper and to begin to write inside what's been divinely revealed to you is, what is it that I'm intended to create? Who am I? That's my divine true self. What is it that I am to bring forward into life? Please begin to feel as it comes to you. Don't force it. Just sit until something comes and you're right. There's a pause in between. Allow the pause to exist until another divine thought comes. It's not a matter of how many you get. It's a matter of how true you are, allowing yourself to be. Please begin. If you just join us, we're sitting for divine download on what is it that I am to bring forward into this life? Who am I as my divine true self? We're asking for sacred enlightenment and helping to discover this truth within. Write that on the inside of your circle as it is divinely revealed. Well, just another moment to be with this. Who am I? My divine and purest true self. What is it that I'm intended to create? What is it that I have to bring forward into this life, into my life, into the life of others? And trust that whatever is coming to you is coming to you for a reason. Don't force it. Don't judge what you've written, how much you've written, how less you've written. Just trust that it'll come. And we'll have another opportunity to come back if something else is revealed to you. I want to move on to the next part. And as you continue to stay in this moment of this present and this right now, we want to just simply ask the divine to make it known to me, to reveal to me, not in my monkey mind, but to set my monkey mind aside, the knowing, already doing, already thinking about it before we get there. We want to set aside the monkey mind and tap into the divine mind, which is our call the heart, thinking from the intention of, with the in, bring the intuition, the intention, the guidance on what is it, divine, that you'd have me to release. Old patterns, beliefs or experiences, or anything that impedes me from realizing my true self, which is being revealed inside the circle. What is it on the outside of the circle that you would have me to write that's an old pattern, that's an old belief, that's an old experience that impedes, that gets in the way of me realizing my true self, the true manifestation of what's inside us? And as you set your intention on that, and take a moment for this divine download. Don't come to it with, I already know what I need to release. And ask in this moment that if it comes to you, that it is divine, and trust that what's coming to you is what to be written on the outside of the circle. So as you begin to fill in around the outside of the circle, what is it that you need to release? And you use all the spaces, doesn't matter. Use all the spaces. And as you do that, we'll just continue to give you a space for the divine download on what is it that I need to release? What are the old patterns that are in the way? What are the old beliefs that I've had? What are the past experiences that I'm holding on to that won't let me go, that won't let me move forward? What is it that's impeding, that's an obstacle, that's obstructing, that's blocking, that's causing a gap between me and my true self? What are those things? And if you have questions, please feel free to use the chat, put them in the chat. I will respond to you here in the chat. It's an active ceremony. But in that space, I'd just like to hold a space in a prayer for you, and that knowing that the true divine will be revealed. That we approach this with release any judgment, any attachment to what it means, to making it meaning. Not even though I'm a meaning making machine, I release it. I know and I'm trusting that I can put aside the already knowing, the already doing, already been there before, and just bring to the right now, the present. And in that present, I will reveal and open up the gift of the knowing of divine intelligence. What is it that I need to release? What is it that I need to let go? What is it that I've been holding on to, that I've been reliving? What are those things? As I'll just begin to fill those in around the outside of the circle. And I'll begin to hold some space for you as you do that part of the exercise. And just trust that whatever is coming is divinely being revealed, without judging it, without defining it, without making a meaning of it. Simply write it down. What is it that you get to release? What are old patterns, old beliefs, past experiences? What is it that's in the way between you and your true self, between you and bringing forward to life that which has divinely been appointed for you to bring forward? Just a few more moments to connect and feel on the paper. Awesome. So now I'm going to invite you to take your piece of paper and just hold it in front of you, flat in front of you. You know, if it's sitting on the table in front of you, that's fine. And then just as we do this, we're just going to take your hands, right? Take your hands. And you're going to simply, we're going to start with the inside of the circle. Just place your hands together over the inside of the circle. And as you place your hands over the inside of the circle, you're going to ask a simple question. Is there anything else? Is there anything else? And you'll just allow yourself to exchange energy with the paper or what's written on the inside, trusting that it's a divine exchange that is taking place. You ask yourself, is there anything else? And don't move, just hold your hands there for a second and connect with that, what's usually inside the circle. And as you hold space in that connection, you're trusting that there's an energy that's flowing from the paper to you, from you to the paper, which represents a divine flow, a divine connection. You ask, is there anything else that I should know to create, to bring forward as my divine self? If there is something, a thought that comes to your heart, if there's a thought that comes to your heart, feel free to pick your pen up and write it inside the paper. If not, just continue to hold your hands over that section in the middle, trusting and knowing that this will be the manifestation because you said so. Because you were willing to be in action, to be courageous, to step forward and ask for the divine revelation. There's a scripture in one of the ancient texts that says, seek and ye shall be found. It says, ask and it shall be given. So you ask for this divine intelligence that has been given. Let's give that a few moments in this position. If there's anything else that's coming to you, please feel free to write it inside the circle. As it relates to your true self, what you will bring forward in your life, your divine purpose, the gifts you will express, what you will create, who you will be. Awesome. Awesome. And now as you're in that space, I want to invite you now just to continue to, as you take your hands and just move them to the outside. So for me, that'll be like my hands. So if the circle was in the middle, and you hold it up, you can't see it. Let's show you a good angle. Let's just say the circle was in the middle. My hands would be kind of like on the outside of it, right? And so we imagine our hands are on the outside, the words that we've written on the outside of the circle, right? Holding your hands over the outside of the circle and simply asking the question to the divine, to whatever you've invited to participate, to reveal. Is there anything else from an intelligence, a divine, universal, all-knowing intelligence that I should know as in terms of what gets to be released? What's in the way? Are there any other past experiences that I'm holding on to that are in the way? Are there any other old beliefs that I've taken as mine, even though I don't know if they're true, if they're serving me? Are there any activities or patterns that are or habits in my life that are in the way of me and my divine self? And that you just place those hands over the external part of the circle. Just allow that energy to exchange back and forth. If there's something that comes to your heart, your heart thought that comes to you and adding something in that external place, please take a moment and do so now. Don't force it. There's nothing coming. That's fine. Just be with what's being released. And even noticing your hands, a different sensation of what's in the outside of the circle that you may be feeling between your hands versus when you had your hands over the inside of the circle. Some it may feel like a tingling or prickling. Some it may just be a difference than how it was. Some may not be noticing anything. So what are you talking about? But just trust whatever your experience is. We trust. We'll take just another 30 seconds in this position to connect. Awesome. A few more seconds if there's anything that's coming to your heart thought to write on the outside of the circle. Any old beliefs, any old patterns, or old experiences, other things or objects or situations that are in the way of you and your divine self. Please capture them on the outside of the paper. All right. So you put in some work up to now, right? If you have some water, just go ahead and feel free to take a sip of water. If you don't have water, it's fine. You want to go ahead and grab something. You want to just hydrate. What we don't want to is to break the intimacy of what you're creating with yourself and its divine connection. Maybe it's emotional. Maybe it's charging. Maybe it's bringing some things to your mind and to your body that are uncomfortable. Whatever it is, it's okay. I want to invite you just to be with it. Look to not interrupt it. Trusting that this is a part of the process. And in this process is what's available to you is at the end as we get ready to go to the next part of the ceremony, which is the releasing. So if you have your scissors, we're going to invite you to take your scissors and you're going to begin to cut the paper. You're going to cut the circle out. So you've got words written on the outside of the circle. All right, let me just probably go over here. You may be able to see it a little bit better. All right, you just want to cut around the circle. You're going to cut around the circle. As you cut around the circle, leaving on the inside of one piece of paper what it is that you're going to create, what it is that you're going to bring forward, what it is that you're going to manifest on this earth. So you've got the piece of paper with all of the things that you're creating in the circle, and then you have some other the outside pieces of paper. Okay, and what we're going to invite you to do is to take those pieces of paper up, and I'm going to ceremonially do it for you, right? Because if you're in the house, we want to be mindful and be responsible. When you get outside, what you can do is you can take, let me just make a bigger picture of this bowl here. You see a bowl, and you want to have in this bowl, you're going to have maybe some earth, right? Something to absorb the seeds, right? Of what it is that you're releasing. And you're going to start to cut that paper up or tear it up, right? I'll use scissors and the things that you get to release, right? And you're going to just cut them up and put them into this bowl, like such. Right. And you just begin to finish cutting that and putting it into the bowl. Thank you, Noreen. Turmeric tea. Yeah, you can whatever you want to have in the bowl as a cushion. And if you want to make sure you have something under the bowl, you want to use a ceramic or a wood bowl, something that's flame resistant. Right. And in a moment, we're going to do a ceremony to release these things that have been in our way. We release these inhibitors, these old experiences, these old patterns, these past beliefs, these memories, these fears, these I already know it ain't going to work, these doubts, whatever these things that are in the way, we're going to release them to the universe, right? And if you simply want to take that, we're going to do, and like I said, I'll ceremonially do it on your behalf. right? And as you put those items into the bowl, right? Then we begin to light them as such. And as those ashes go up into the sky, we trust in the knowing that we're releasing this to the universe. We're releasing this to the galaxy, to the stars. We're releasing these old patterns, these old beliefs that have been in our way, that have come to distract us and disturb us. And as we continue just to release them, knowing that the truth of the matter is that we are no longer these things. We are no longer inhibited by these patterns, these beliefs, these old experiences, these habits, these thoughts that have gotten in our way. And we send those ashes to the universe. And we release them to the divine, knowing that the divine will take and manifest and make those things that were in the way, that were impedes, make them possible seeds for new beginnings and for new love, for new possibilities, for new manifestations, for new creations, for new life, for new abundance. And as we continue to release ceremonially these ashes as they rise to the sky, and it really dissipates all that we've held on to. Thank you, Felicia Stetzer. Thank you for joining. And we say thank you, and we take a moment just to hold a moment of prayer to say thank you for all that we have released, all that has been divinely revealed in terms of the things that are in the way of me being truly what I am been created to be. My appointment has been made sure, and I've missed it. I've released missing any more appointments. I release any other doubts or past things that are getting in the way of me stepping into my right now. To my what's right here and right now for me to step into, knowing that the truth is that because you are the source of all that there is, and I am the source of you, that I am also the source of all that there is. And as I look to pick up this sheet that I've written of all the things that I'll create, who am I in my true self, in my manifestation of my true self, I look to say thank you. And I hold it up to the sky. And I hold it onto my heart. I hold it out to the universe. And I ask you just to take a moment to look at your will, what you've written on your will. I'm actually going to bring my will out. So I do have actually a will with words that I've done before. And I'm going to ask you just to take a moment to read it to yourself or read it out loud so that the universe, or maybe those in your space, can hear it as we confirm it to the universe. And I'll read, as you read yours out loud, I'll read mine out loud. And if you want to put in the chat some of the things that are in your will, please share them with us and we can share them together with the universe. I'll tell you some of the things that are in my will. And I did this exercise a couple of years ago, and I keep this will close to where I can get access to it and be reminded of what it is that I'm going to manifest. You can just see there's different words written on there in different places, all over the will, all over the will. One of the things it says, teach healing techniques combined with spiritual practices to people and communities across the world. A spiritual leader, a social influencer, create, establish international health and wellness coalitions. An author, a lecturer, facilitator, a master trainer, supporting people in embracing their purpose and owning their power. Making money doing what I love. Sharing the gift of healing, a master healer, mentoring men navigating life's journey personally and professionally and spiritually. Actively connected to my family, creating and delivering workshops across the world, like what I'm doing right now. Bridging or uniting communities of color and faith and sharing life skills which can easily be passed down generation to generation. What is it that you're going to create? Bring forward into life? What does your will say? What is your divine purpose? I'll take a moment if you want to put in the chat, share some of what has been revealed to you in terms of your divine purpose. We'd love to hear it. Be generous. Be generous with yourself without judgment. I tell you, when I wrote these things down a few years ago, I was wondering how they would happen, would they happen? As I listen, as I read over them right today, they're all manifesting. They're beautiful. They're who I get to be. They're who I'm choosing to be. Regardless of past circumstances, past history, past stories that I've said around what it is that's available or not available to me. So I'll give a moment if everybody wants to share. To use the chat and share. Are you willing to declare it, even if you don't know it, without evidence, without permission of saying, yeah, you can do this? Are you willing to share and tell the universe? Are you? We'll just take a moment before we get ready to wrap. Well, I just want to say, oh, yes, increased trust and familiar relationships. Thank you, Norza. I love that circle. I love what you're manifesting. Increased trust and familiar relationship. Yes, thank you. Well, as we get ready, financial growth and wellness. Yes, yes to financial growth and wellness. Beautiful, beautiful. Anyone else want to share? One of the things I wrote here is I'm here to shift media. Yes, Keisha Dean. Yes, yes. Nor is this partnership, love, joy, peace, and grace. Woo! I feel the universe changing already. Self-care. Hallelujah. To self-care. Yes, Felicia Studstill. Thank you. Yes. Yes. What else? Any more? I'll give it just a few more minutes in case there's something else. Well, we know that increased health and stamina, MB3rd. Yes. That's Valerie, a vessel to help others seek divine truth and wholeness. I love it. I love it. This has been just a beautiful experience. My name is Mark Christmas. I'm your Reiki master. I'm your friend. I'm a minister. I'm a healer. I'm those things that are in my circle that I didn't even know or had been unwilling or unable to say before I did this exercise. Love, fun, and delight. Yes to love, fun, and delight. Yeah, what's a life without those three things? It sounds pretty boring. And so, yes, you as your divine self, your divine beings that you've released, that's on the outside of the circle. And if you actually want to do the burnout, I invite you to go outside and do it, right? So you can burn and let those ashes dissipate in the wind, right? We don't want to pollute the world and doing what as we're releasing and pull our burdens onto someone else. But just let it naturally be taken away and absorbed, because we know that what goes in, God knows how to make for good and bring back blessings, right? Now, I just play this song as we get ready to go out. It's called Be Yourself. Be Yourself. When we're talking about being yourself, we're talking about being your divine self, being that essence of being that beacon of light, being that health, that stamina, that vessel to seek divine truth, that change in the place that needs change, right? That family person, that love, that joy, that peace, that grace, that love, that fun, that delight, that hallelujah when everybody else would say hell yo. That yes when there would be a no. That I'm possible when it seems unattainable. And with this, we want to say, and I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart, the NIA Center, NIA meaning intent and purpose. We bring programs to educate, engage, and empower. We bring here because we want you to know that we love you. We recognize the sacredness of who you are. We recognize that we have a responsibility to each other to support us in our highest and best being. And you can follow us in programming here on Twitch or Nia Center. If you want to make donations, you can make donations to support the movement. And as we just continue to ask you to go forward with the rest of this weekend in the highest and best being, taking this energy of the moon, they call it the wolf moon. Woo! That's me howling at the moon. As you howl at the moon, knowing and trusting that woo, you get to have what you get to have. Kimberly Smith, absolutely, you are welcome. You are welcome. You got questions, you did this, you want to know, contact me. You can reach me at @MarkForReal on Instagram or Twitter. You can reach me on Facebook at Mark Christmas, just like it's spelled up there on the screen. You can reach us at the Nia Center at gmail.com. Make it easy for you. Whatever is easiest for you, reach out. Because we're in this together. Every now and then we'll bring a program like this to the uplifting of the world. You know, if you want to learn more about Reiki and how to protect yourself from the unwanted energy, how to heal yourself, how to learn how to do self-treatments so you can get some clarity, you can remove these emotional blockages that have been in the way of and hindering you physically, mentally, and spiritually, contact me. I'm here for you. I want you to know that we love you. We're going to see you on Thursday, All Verse Thursday, 8 p.m. right here at the same channel. We got Eric E.B. Butler, my homeboy, my frat brother from FAMU, known as the Hood Coordinator. If you ever seen this post, you're in for a treat. The brother brings nothing but joy. On Sunday, next Sunday, we got Sacred Space Sunday live. And I'll be leading the conversation. I guess it's my week. But before I get off, I got to say happy birthday to my baby. Happy birthday, baby. You got a birthday coming up February 10th, y'all. Should be the big number. Should be a big number that represents gold. But she's always been golden to me and golden in my heart. So happy birthday, love. Happy birthday, Jeff Beasley. Happy birthday, Eddie Buck. Happy birthday, Charles Jackson. Happy birthday, David Shanks. All the other Aquariuses that are out there, happy birthday. Shout out to Rhonda Wildflower Johnson. I'm going to get that astrology reading later on today too, y'all. So with that, I'll say thank you, thank you, thank you. And I love you. And as a song, I'll just bring it into the screen just in case y'all can't hear it. We'll let it ride for a second. Release all your woes and be free. Be yourself. It's an invitation, not a demand. It's an offer. Follow your heart. Your own sacred space. Be yourself. Thank you for joining me today. Will burning ceremony. January 30th. Be the moon, be the stars, be whatever you are. Thank you, Felicia. Be a want, be a wish, be someone's perfect gift, be the new, be the soft, be whoever you are. Be yourself. Love you. Oneness, love, and joy. Nia Center, Sacred Space Sundays. Check us out. Thank you. Keep that circle somewhere nearby you. You can take a look at it every now and then. It's who you are. It's who you get to be. It's who you're meant to be. Yeah.
Be yourself.
Yourself.
Just be. Just be.
Yeah, I'm a tribal healer, y'all.
Just be yourself.
I reflect that.
Just be. Just be. Just be yourself.
Just be yourself. Woo, that's all we need. That's all we need. We don't need nothing more, nothing less.
Be yourself.
You deserve it.
Be
You're worthy.
yourself now. Be yourself now.
All we need is you to do it. We're waiting on you.
Be yourself. Be yourself. Be yourself.
Yes, Tanya.
Be
Yes.
yourself. Just be yourself.